Welcome back, everyone. Ready to dive into some more fascinating history. Today, we're journeying to ancient China, exploring the legendary reigns of Yao and Shun.
And these aren't just any figures from the past, are they?
Not at all.
They represent a pivotal moment.
A turning point.
Where China transitions from this collection of tribes to something more unified, something closer to the empire it would become.
And the way they navigated leadership, succession, some seriously tricky situations.
It still resonates today, doesn't it?
It really does. So, to set the stage, we're talking about the very dawn of Chinese civilization.
The very beginning.
Our source material mentions the Yellow Emperor.
Considered the ancestor of the Chinese people.
Right. So how does this lineage, this leadership, how does it actually play out? Because it wasn't always smooth sailing, was it?
Oh, not at all. Not always smooth sailing. No, we have Diku, who inherits this immense legacy, and his eldest son, initially, he takes the reins.
Following that principle of the eldest inheriting?
Exactly. But here's where things get interesting. His younger son, Yao, emerges as a far more capable leader.
So it wasn't just about who was next in line.
No.
It was about who actually had the skills, the qualities to lead.
Absolutely. And it really speaks to a deep understanding even back then. True leadership goes beyond just bloodlines.
It does.
And Yao's brother, who was in line before him, unfortunately, he seemed to embody that well.
Yeah, from what I've read, it sounds like he was a little more interested in throwing lavish parties than actually ruling.
Let's just say he enjoyed the finer things in life.
He did. And unfortunately for him, the Dongyu tribe, specifically the Ri or Sun tribe, as they're sometimes called,
yeah,
they saw this as their chance, their opportunity.
A power vacuum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right at the heart of the Huaxia tribe, you have this threat emerging from the east.
And it's important to clarify who the Huaxia were. They represented really the heartland of what would become Chinese civilization. And their struggles, their conflicts against groups like the Dongyi, it's central really to understanding how Chinese identity formed, how it came to be.
Wow.
Now, whether the Dongyi were they opportunistic invaders or were they driven by something deeper, those are questions that are still debated, but their expansion during this time period, it speaks volumes.
It really does. It makes you think about, that constant push and pull throughout history, different groups, all vying for power, for influence.
Absolutely.
But getting back to it, while his brother was, shall we say, enjoying himself, Yao steps up.
He does.
He knows how serious this is.
A critical moment.
It's not just about him, it's about the future of his people.
It is. And this is where the concept of the mandate of heaven becomes absolutely crucial. This wasn't just a political conflict, it was a spiritual crisis. Did Yao's brother, through his neglect, did he lose this divine mandate, this right to rule?
Wow.
That's a question that haunted Chinese rulers for centuries.
Talk about pressure.
Right.
Immense.
But Yao, he doesn't wait around.
Hoping for the best. He's proactive, he seeks out alliances, strengthens his forces. And this is where the story takes, I think, a really fascinating turn.
Tell me more.
Tell us about the Yukon clan and those legendary archers.
Oh, the Yukon. Now, in ancient warfare, skilled archers, they were absolutely invaluable.
I bet.
And the Yukon, they were renowned for their prowess with the bow. But Yao seeking them out, it's more than just, securing military might. It demonstrates, I think, a keen understanding of talent acquisition. It's a quality that separates good leaders from truly great ones throughout history, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. He's not just building an army here. He's building a network. The best, the brightest.
Precisely. And within this story, we catch this intriguing glimpse of another legendary figure, Hui, the mythical archer, who shot down 9 out of 10 sons.
I'd heard of this.
The fact that he's connected to the Yukon clan just deepens the intrigue surrounding this period. It's like peeling back layers of this fascinating tapestry.
And to think all of this is happening against this backdrop of leadership struggles, potential divine retribution. It's incredible. And speaking of which, Yao had his own family drama, didn't he?
Oh, there's always family drama.
His brothers, while skilled in their own right, they weren't exactly cut out for leadership, were they?
It seems not.
One preferred farming, another astronomy.
Practical pursuits.
And then there's the brother who, let's just say he really enjoyed his wine.
Every family has one.
You do.
But it's a fascinating glimpse into the social structure of the time, isn't it? Even as Yao faced external threats and internal instability, we see these other aspects of society functioning: agriculture, astronomy, even leisure. It highlights that even in times of turmoil, life and all its facets, it goes on.
It really does make you think. Every generation, they have their own unique challenges to face, don't they?
They do.
But back to Yao for a moment. It wasn't just his brothers he had to contend with. His own son, well, let's just say he wasn't exactly showing signs of being a future emperor.
It's almost comical, isn't it?
It is a little bit.
The sources mention Yao's son, get this, didn't wean off milk until he was 8.
8 years old.
Of course, we have to remember these accounts, they were passed down orally for generations.
Oh, for sure.
Often embellished to really emphasize a point.
Right.
So maybe not literally 8 years old, still,
Not attached to the milk gourd.
Exactly. But definitely a figure painted as, well, unfit for rule.
Clearly not leadership material. And that seems to be a recurring theme here, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Yao, despite having brothers, a son, he looks elsewhere for a successor. He's seen firsthand that lineage, it doesn't guarantee leadership.
It doesn't. And this brings us to Shun.
Shun.
A figure who he embodies a different kind of strength, wouldn't you say? Resilience, humility, this unwavering filial piety, even when facing, well, unimaginable hardships.
His story sounds like something out of a myth, honestly.
It does.
His stepmother and half-brother, they try to kill him, not once, but twice.
The lengths they went to.
A burning granary, a poisoned well. I mean, you really have to wonder what Shun was made of to not only survive all of that, but to excel.
Some might call it luck.
Right.
But the sources, they paint a picture of a man who not only endures, but learns. He learns from each challenge he faces.
Right.
And it's important to remember, he's not alone in this. His wives, Huang and Nuing, they're instrumental in his survival.
They weren't just any women either. These were Yao's own daughters. Choosing to stand by Shun, despite the danger, talk about a testament to his character. They must have seen something truly extraordinary in him.
They must have. Their presence adds another layer to this story, doesn't it? It speaks to the importance of, well, loyalty, wisdom, and those strategic alliances, even in the face of adversity. And let's not forget, Yao designed the house. He designed it with that secret tunnel. He knew.
Wait, are you saying Yao was setting Shun up to face those challenges?
It seems so, yes.
That's a whole other level of mentorship. Makes you think about the lengths some leaders will go to really prepare their successors. But those straw hats, though, I can't get over that detail. 2 straw hats acting as parachutes. Come on. That's ingenuity in the face of certain doom.
Well, whether those details are meant to be taken literally or they're symbolic embellishments, I suppose we'll never know. But the fact remains, Shun finds a way. He overcomes each obstacle he encounters. He's resourceful, quick-thinking, and he clearly trusts in the wisdom of those around him. It's a powerful lesson for anyone, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. It's like that saying, when the going gets tough, they start weaving emergency parachutes out of straw hats. But seriously, Shun, he passes these tests, and he does it with flying colors, proving himself worthy of Yao's trust and the immense responsibility of leadership. So Shun steps into this leadership role. After all those trials, literally by fire.
Trial by fire, yeah.
He's got some big shoes to fill, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Following in Yao's footsteps.
He does.
What kind of leader does he turn out to be?
Well, Shun's reign, I think it really demonstrates that transition from surviving challenges to actually thriving as a leader. He inherits this incredibly complex situation, right? He needs to honor Yao's legacy, but also forge his own path.
Right.
And he does it remarkably well. One of the first things he tackles, quelling these various rebellions. Imagine having to consolidate power after everything he'd been through personally. That takes some serious political acumen.
No kidding. So he's gone from escaping burning buildings to putting out these metaphorical fires across the land.
Exactly.
But it really highlights, leadership isn't just about personal resilience, is it?
No.
It's about governance, strategy, unifying people.
Absolutely. And Shun doesn't stop there. He's credited with refining the calendar system, which, again, this wasn't just about marking time.
Right.
It was about regulating agriculture, predicting the seasons, ensuring a stable food supply for a growing population.
Can you imagine the organizational skills that must have taken?
That boggles the mind.
It really does. It's easy to take these systems for granted today.
Oh, absolutely.
But back then, these were innovations that impacted every aspect of their lives.
Without a doubt. But beyond the practicalities of governance, there's another facet of Shun's reign that I find truly fascinating.
Okay.
His impact on, believe it or not, music. Music. It said that he introduced new musical forms, instruments even. And these innovations, they became central to Chinese ceremonies, rituals for centuries.
Wow.
I mean, just think. Echoes of melodies crafted by Shun, potentially influencing the music enjoyed during the time of Confucius.
That's amazing.
It really speaks to the longevity, the power of those cultural contributions.
It's incredible how these ancient traditions, they can just ripple through time, can't they?
Amazing.
Connects us to those who came before in such a tangible way.
It does.
But going back to Shun's legacy for a second, he's not just remembered for music, for good governance. He becomes one of the legendary 5 emperors alongside the Yellow Emperor, alongside Yao himself.
He does. And Shun's elevation to this almost mythical status, it's incredibly significant. It underscores that his reign wasn't just seen as successful. It was viewed as exemplary, a model for future rulers, really, to aspire to. These weren't just stories. These were blueprints for leadership, emphasizing, wisdom, virtue, service to the people.
And that legacy was so powerful that it even resonated with someone like Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor to unify China, centuries later.
That's right. Even Qin Shi Huang, known for his very firm hand, he drew upon the legacy of those 5 emperors when he adopted the title emperor. It's a potent reminder that even in a time of, sweeping change, incredible ambition, those stories, the stories of these early leaders, they held immense cultural and political weight.
It's like they set a standard, a benchmark against which all future rulers would be measured.
They did.
So we started with this seemingly simple story, 2 rulers.
Right.
And we've uncovered so much more.
They have.
Power struggles, natural disasters, family drama.
Of course.
Incredible feats of resilience. And a legacy that shaped Chinese history for millennia.
It's amazing how these ancient tales, so often shrouded in myth and legend, they still offer these profound insights, I think, into human nature, into leadership. And the enduring power of stories themselves.
They really do.
Yeah.
It really makes you wonder, how do those values that Yao and Shun embodied, that resilience, wise leadership, that service to something larger than oneself, how do those resonate with us today? Are those qualities that we still seek in our leaders?
In ourselves.
In ourselves, exactly. It's a question worth pondering. And on that note, I think we'll wrap up this deep dive. We hope you've enjoyed this journey into the fascinating world of ancient China.
Until next time.